well, wait 1 month, I never get the check. Wait another couple weeks, never get the check. I never sign the renewal lease. So I think, oh, that's enough. I don't have to worry about it. So I think they're leaving. They don't leave. They stay in the apartment. It was kind of with my permission, but not really. I don't know, whatever. So they stayed in their apartment. They said they're still going to send the check. I still never got the check. Finally, the other guy that's living in the apartment, calls the landlord, pretending to be me, and that's how all this starts. All of a sudden, the landlord calls me. I'm at work in San Diego, and he's like screaming at me in Polish or Russian or whatever nasty language that is. And then it's like, well, why are you having these people in your apartment? And da 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 da. I don't know if that's Polish. I don't know if it's Polish section. But why are you doing this? We could sue you for this. Da 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 da. And you pay back rent. I was like, all right, I'm sorry. What can I do? What can I do? Da 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 da. I denied it for a while, but after a while, he figured it out. So I said, okay, what can I do? Da da da. And he's like, all right, well. He calmed down, I calmed down. Then he called me back a week later and he said, all right, we'll try and put them on the lease. So I said, okay, great. And this was during kind of September, beginning of September, end of August. So he said, okay, we'll try and put them on the lease. So a month goes by, he says, all right, you need to send in a guarantor letter, a letter of the guarantor so that you can guarantor them so you can get off the lease. But I guess it would still be on the lease, but it wouldn't be entirely on me. But anyways, so I sent them that letter and I notarized it, just in case. Yeah, so I send them that letter. Then a month goes by, another month goes by, they can't get on the lease for whatever reason. He calls them and kicks them out and says, you guys need to leave, da 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 da. So they leave the keys in the apartment. Apparently they're supposed to leave the keys, or hand the keys in. I didn't know that. Maybe, who would know? I don't know that. Maybe I should know that. I don't know. So they left the keys in the apartment. I get a call 3 weeks later. He calls me saying, how come they haven't sent their check-in, da-da-da-da-da, where are the keys, da-da-da-da. That's when I say, well, you kicked them out, and he denies that they kicked them out, even though he did, because I believe my roommate, she wouldn't have just left without being evicted. And little did we know at the time that in order to be evicted, you have to have somebody go to your apartment, and it has to be a legal order, yada, yada, yada. Didn't know that at the time. So he calls me, he's all upset. He's like, now you're going to pay 4 months or whatever rent month it is until we can rent this out, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm sorry, it's at West Side Manhattan on 181st Street, Washington Heights, whatever. You could rent this out in a month. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, they repainted it, it was fine. So a year goes by, I don't worry about it. 2 years go by, I don't worry about it. Then I get a letter, finally, from a lawyer that says, this is our final notice that we're sending you that you owe this much money, $34,360. Final notice, I never got a first notice, I never got a second notice, I never got a third notice. Granted, I've moved several times, but the guy that guaranteed my other roommate, he never got a letter either, and he also got a final notice saying he owed that much. So then, months go by, I don't hear anything from them, I don't hear anything. They send me a bill of stating why I owe $34,000, breaking everything down. I say, okay, all right. So at this point, I'm waiting for them to sue me so I can go to court on this. Then it happens. I wake up last Friday morning, go on my Bank of America. I only go on there every once in a while because I'm afraid to look at my statements sometimes. I kind of knew this was going to happen, actually. It was in the back of my mind that something like this would happen. That's why I kept like at least $4,500 in my account just in case something like this happened. And this is why I was staying on couches for a while, because I just knew something like this would happen, and I just wanted to make sure I had enough in there. You think $5,000 in your bank account would be enough in case something like this happens. So that's why I kept it in there, and why I'm sitting on couches. So I wake up Friday morning, and lo and behold, my checking says negative 5,912. My savings says negative 5,912. I had $5,000 in my account. That's negative $17,000. $17,000 was taken in my account Friday. So I call Bank of America. They say they don't know. You have to call this number. We have to call this number. I think it's a mistake at first. I put it up on Facebook, thinking it's funny. Ha 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 ha. Look at this error. No, it's legit. I call the lawyer, screaming at him. Then he screams at me back. Then I cry. Then he cries. No, he didn't cry. But then we calm down. He explains to me what goes on, what happened. He said the order went in on June 22nd, that I was served by some curly-haired lady. Didn't know. Of course, I mean, maybe she did it when I was drunk. I don't remember a lot of things, so it's probably when she served me. It'd be a good time to do it. Interesting. So apparently it said I was served. I don't remember being served. I know I wasn't served. And that an order went in because I didn't show up, and it went against me for $4,500. It's $3,400 plus $1,000 in interest. So now again, where does $18,000 come in, or $17,000? I'm sorry, $17,000. Where does that come into play? Well, I call Bank of America again. They say they don't know. They say it's not their problem. They say you call this number, call this number. Again, this is Friday. It's before July 4th. So nobody answers my questions. It's 4:30. Everyone wants to go home. They don't give a shit about me. So they say call back Tuesday. So call back Tuesday, and the rest of the conversation is the blow. And that's all I have to say about that.